right. Let's see. Am I live? Doesn't look like it yet. Maybe. Oh, looks like I'm live now. Okay, great. Awesome. Hello, hello. Oh, yep. Seems to be live. I got a notification. Cool. So, if you haven't watched this before, this is my third video well, my third stream, which will be be up as a video, where I'm building a Fallout 4 mod. Right now, what you can see on screen here is sort of the kind of outline of the level that we're building, which is based on a environment in game. I'll load that up now so that we can talk a bit about what our plan is for today. Let me just go find it. It's at 3.2 in the world. That one. That'll load for a bit. But in the first video, basically I built a planning document to begin the basic layout and plan for what I was going to be trying to do, at least at the first part of this mod, which is to build a kind of base for a new faction in game. Whether or not it's going to be an official actual faction and be all of the stats and everything that are related to a true faction is it probably not, but I'm just calling it a faction because it's effectively like a group of people who are working towards something in the game. I'm going to be I basically decided I'm going to start with just trying to build out a base for this new faction. And so I chose a building that looked like it would be a good location to use, that was relatively centrally located, but not like exactly in the center of everything, so that it's close enough to where you need to be, but it isn't going to be constantly attacked by other things, which is constantly what occurs when you are kind of like towards the more center area of the downtown core in the game. So basically, I did a quick outline of the building with a top-down view from the editor in Photoshop. So this is the building we are working with here. This big guy here, which comes up to here, over to here. There's like an alleyway behind it. But we're not really concerned with the exterior of the building too much. I did some very minor trimming of it. Oh, where did it go? Here it is. Some very minor trimming of some of the dirt and stuff to make it a little bit more accessible. I'm just going to try to angle into this here. Okay, and we're going to hide the mesh there, the LOD mesh. So I cleaned up. There was a bunch of dirt here. Whether or not this is going to work for everybody, I'm not sure yet. I do remember having some problems in Skyrim where when you move certain types of assets from the main like the main project files, which are in this case the Fallout 4.esm, that sometimes it doesn't apply those changes. Specifically, I had problems with a mud crab when I was doing my last mod, which was for Skyrim. I'm hoping that this, because it's just geo, will not affect anything, but basically I wanted to free open this area to have a door here. And yeah, so this building I just thought was a really cool building. It seemed really centrally located, and it doesn't really have any purpose in game, so I felt like this would be a good place to start. So I took a top-down view of it, and I traced it out in Photoshop really quickly. I just took a screenshot of it, put it in Photoshop, and did an outline. I color-coded it for the different heights, and then I put a little legend here, and I started going through floor by floor, starting with the first floor, and then I went up and then added a basement, and started planning out like what each area would be. And then last time, building on that, we went into the editor and we actually built that outline in the editor. So I just wanted to check a couple of things here before I got into that. So the house is set back a little bit here, but we can probably ignore that for the most part. I'm just trying to see things I need to pay attention to when I'm actually trying to fill in the environment. But it looks like for the most part, we're just going to deal with the stuff that we've been dealing with, and it shouldn't be much of a problem. One thing I wanted to know is what the interior of this space would maybe look like. And it looks like there's a lot of brick, a little bit of wood on the edge, but oh yeah, and the first floor has a garage. So we're gonna need to cut a space out for that. So we're gonna maybe have to move our door over. I'm gonna just open a notepad here. And in my notepad, I'm just gonna write a note. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a snipping tool, and I'm gonna grab a snip of this to remind myself that this is here. Yeah. Okay. So just to give myself a reminder that we have to make some space for that, because I don't think I made enough space for it when I put the temporary location for where I'm going to put the door in. But we can see here, this is a cinder block interior of this garage space. So we're going to treat this building more industrial-like, I think. And then these are going to be obviously more house-like. So that's going to change a couple of things just in terms of like which assets we're going to be pulling from. So that's probably good for now. I'm going to go back to the interiors and go to our mod here, our mod location. Hold on a second. Just getting a notification to something. All right, so this is what I had been working on last time. So I made this, so the decision of the building made life a bit hard on ourselves, because the grid snapping in this game, well, things are snapped to grids, and generally speaking, if things are on a grid snapped kind of basis, working with angles is not ideal. And this building has a pretty big angle in it, if you couldn't tell. This whole section is angled, and this is going to probably make it a lot harder for us to match some things up. But we will see. So hold on a second here. Switch this over. Okay. This area also has a pretty big angle. Basically, like any of these angled spaces could be a huge pain in the butt. So what we might have to do is like build out these spaces on like a grid and then angle them afterwards to make it a little bit easier for us to work with these areas. For sizing and stuff, we can still use these as a good reference point, but then we'll probably have to rotate the building afterward and place it inside. We're not going to have like exterior walls necessarily, right? Like, so this here was like an interior of a house that we pulled in from another asset. So if we look at this, it doesn't have like exterior walls. You just have interior facing walls. So because of that, we don't need to have everything match up perfectly, because the player won't know what they don't have access to. Basically, like this corner here, is this because there's actually a corner in that mesh? Like it may be, but not necessarily. It could just be a crawl space or whatever. Like it doesn't, because it's not, because we are not modeling perfectly to the exterior, it doesn't really matter. So this will not necessarily be the exact location of these walls, but it's going to give us at least a good idea of how much space we have to fill, which is the more important part. So if we have like a few gaps here and there, as long as it feels like a complete building, it's fine. So what we're going to try to focus on today is, now that we have kind of the basic kind of layout figured out here of the, like for sizing anyways, which is why I did this. We're going to try to fill a couple of these easy holes with some other interiors that we can find that are in the styles that we want, and then we can start cutting them down or out as we need to. So, for example, like we might find a place that's a little bit larger than this area here, so we might just pull in something and then have to cut out some pieces, but that's going to be fine because we're going to want to reorient the things anyways. We're not going to want to use exactly the walls and the locations that they were in whatever orientation they were in the original version of these buildings, because obviously, like, we want to do our own thing with them. So yeah, we're gonna try to find some stuff to fill in these holes first, like I did with these two pieces here. And this one's actually going to be angled a little bit to the on my screen. Yeah, so it would be angled a bit to the kind of like rotated negative 25 degrees or so. But again, I'm going to keep it on grid flat for now because it's going to be way easier to work with that way. And it, oh, hello. Sorry, I had something covering the text box here for a second. I will just minimize that because I don't need to pay attention to it. Oh yeah, actually, I'm going to figure that out now, actually, because I'm right here. So this, we know where this is. So this is this wall here. And it comes in, it actually doesn't quite go that far. You can see like the upper floor kind of pull, oh, I don't have the ability to zoom out on this. The upper floor kind of like comes out a little bit further than this does because it gets cut in. But we're just gonna pretend like it's coming out a little bit further than that. If you look at like how the there's a laundromat, I think it is, that's also in the same area as this building, just a little bit to the east. They do this basically the same thing. Where the exterior has like a curve in it, and they mimic that on the interior, but it doesn't quite match up perfectly, and that's fine. So like more realistically, this wall would probably be like hereabouts, but that's probably okay. In fact, we could probably pull the whole wall forward like one of these panels, and we might do that, but we'll see. I kind of like it being larger, but it might be a little bit jarring to be this much larger. This building, however, seems to be about, like, if that's a door, yeah, I think everything might be a little bit larger than the scale of the building on the exterior, width-wise, and that probably came in from the bad perspective that I had going into it. So we'll see how we want to deal with this. But this is about 2 panels wide, and then there's another panel and then the door. So 2 panels, another panel, and a door. So it's about one piece too wide right now. We might fix that. We'll see as we go. Players probably won't notice it from going inside from the outside, but we're gonna have to playtest that a bit and figure out like if it does feel a bit Doctor Who-y, where you go from outside and you see this door, and then you go in and it's suddenly like, oh my god, it's huge inside. We don't want that feeling. We want the feeling like it's continuous experience, like the 2 pieces are continuous. And I mean, we're partially helped by the long loading screens that the game generally has, because people will forget the exact size as they kind of are transitioning through. The building looks big from outside anyway, so making it a little bit larger won't feel crazy, but it just depends on like where that line is, so we might have to play around with that a little bit. So what I wanted to make sure though is that if we are carving out space for the garage, that we, like, if we're thinking about the space for the garage, then we're going to want to pull the door in further. So here, I'm just going to pull this piece. Let's make sure the grid snapping is on. I'm just going to move this guy over to here. I'm going to then turn off grid snapping so that we can push these a bit closer together, and that's better. We might want to go even further than that. Well, actually, how big is a doorway? A true doorway is that size. So if you are here, roughly about here, is that enough space for a car? Like an old garage in Boston, that might be fine. And then what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna pull these in to block off the space for this garage here. Oh, where am I looking? here we go. Getting used to like the controls for how to move around in these environments is like a whole kind of like thing. Every dev environment is a little bit different, and it just takes time, like learning each new environment and like what the quirks are about how it works. So we're gonna do this, and I'm gonna then put like a floor in here probably, but that's just to make sure that we know that there's gonna be a garage here, and we know that there's a door hereabouts. So we're gonna have to play with that a bit too. But the garage is a bigger thing because we really need to create a cutout for it. Whereas the doorway, even though it comes inwards a little bit, we probably can fudge the fact that there's like a little bit of an extra bit of wall there. Just it's insulation or it's a crawl space or whatever. So that I wanted to make sure we did that. Yet another reason why we're gonna end up like tailoring. If we grab another house piece that's gonna go slot in here, we're gonna cut out like a bit for this. There's like a term for that. I can't remember what it's called right now. An allowance. We're gonna cut out an allowance for the garage, but this is also a garage on the bottom floor. So we're not allowing access to this space. This garage is quite a bit bigger. It's like a full-on workshop, whereas this is more like a single car garage. So this should be probably okay. Although actually we might have, is there like a car coupe pre-war? Cool. We can grab this and we can try putting this in there and just seeing what that looks like. Oh, I'm gonna put this, is that on the grid? Oh, maybe it is. Why is it not rotating around it nicely? Okay, that's about the right height. Oh, come on. There we go. So yeah, I mean, that's close enough. We might just to, oh, well, actually, because these door pieces will allow for an allowance of about 2 feet or so. So we could pull this wall like a little bit forward, like there, and that would be pretty much perfect because it's just a really tight garage, and that's fine. I think that's good. Yeah. In fact, I could just leave that there for now, and we'll just use that as a reference point for scale and stuff. But that does bring up a question: do we want a staircase right in front of the door? And I think no. I think let's pull this back even further. Okay. And that's probably a good start. Okay, because this is gonna have at least a few feet before the staircase now. You don't really want like a landing straight into a staircase. It's not a good idea, building wise. I'm sure there's building codes around that kind of stuff, but I haven't looked into them, and they're also going to be different for each area, so it doesn't really matter. So I think this is a good start. Let's save this right now. And let's go try to find something to fill these gaps here. So this is going to be a bit more industrial feeling. It's going to have like a cinder block kind of like base structure. As we saw with the interior of this garage space from this image here, we can see this is like a cinder block and then brick. So this is not like a very homey home. It could even be just like completely industrial. But we'll see. This part was obviously definitely more like a house, and then this part is going to be possibly a mix of stuff. Right now I've put a wall here, but this might end up being just more open. That's to be determined. And then this one is definitely a house. This one is also a house. We're going to turn it into more of like a gift shop, so I might use one of the shops in the game as a reference for this rather than a house, because I'm saying like lore wise it was changed pre the bombs going off, so it would make more sense to use something that's more of like a shop base rather than a house base. This is going to be industrial, but I think the first thing we want to do, I mean, we could grab washroom pieces and start on the second floor of this. That's not a bad idea. And grab maybe if we can find a shop that has a bathroom attached, this might be perfect. So let's see what we can find here. There's train station. I'm not sure what's in this train station. Black plains, brick floor, concrete stairs, cigar. Is there a way to check? Oh, this looks like it's a filter. Toilet. So there is some toilets, but only 2 of them. They're both broken. So it's not going to be ideal. What about here? ArcJet systems. Bathroom stall right away. Okay. Black plane, plastic wire. Building concrete broken wall chunk. So concrete is, that sounds like right for this, but it doesn't sound right for this. I'm assuming this is going to be probably very industrial. But I'm just going to see if they have anything that's like wood. Actually, I can just type in wood. No, wood box. Okay, so let's look for, what about this Automatoys headquarter? Ah, a building concrete with wood? What does this look like? No. I actually don't want to do that. I will instead look for this piece. Building concrete. Wood. Building concrete BG wall. And then ends in free wall. 1A all broke. Mid. Hold on. I'm just gonna keep typing this in. BG wall free. Here we go. What does this look like? T. That doesn't look very promising, actually. What about? Oh, but it has building wood. No, wait, that's my map. Dang it. This one. So it's got some plywood. It's got some other stuff. It doesn't have any real wood walls. Because this building is definitely like a wood walled building. So I want something. I want to find something that has like wood walls and toilets, and hopefully also like storefront stuff. So I'm looking at things that might have something. So I was thinking like maybe one of these company ones might, but it would have to be a smaller company than these probably. Backed by tall office. No, that's gonna be a tall office, which is the towers, which aren't good. Backstreet apparel. Okay. This looks more promising. Is there a toilet? There are. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So, okay. This is looking pretty good. This is like exactly the kind of look that I was looking for that storefront area. So we might be able to use this. I think there's a cleaner version of this though in the example, or not necessarily examples, but like the demo scenes that they added. So I might look at that one instead, because most of these are going to have been in use in the world, so they're not going to be this destroyed. They will have been repaired somewhat and stuff like that. We could use the broken stuff as a starting point and then repair it with pieces of like plywood and stuff, which we might want to do as well. Okay, there's their bathroom. Not bad. Okay, I'll consider this one. But I think if we look at the back here, I think there was another one that was similar. Unused cave. Cellar. What is this one? No. Fallout shelter, financial offices, theater, unused theater. Oh, this is the one we used earlier. Laundromat, which is just a relatively clean looking laundromat. Pump house, way station. There was a couple of other ones. I'm trying to remember. Is it this one? The pharmacy. No, it wasn't this one. Although this one's not terrible. What's under here? Nothing. Okay. So it's not that one. There's another laundromat. Is this the same kind of thing? This one is smaller. Not really what we're looking for. Parking garage, apartments, rotunda. There was a demo or like an example something. I thought it was around here, but maybe I'm not right on that front. All right, well, we'll just go back here. So Backstreet Apparel was a good looking potential. What is bad FTL? This looks a bit storefront like, but it's pretty messed up. Sells shop. What is the shop name? Does it have? It's just called Backstreet Apparel. Okay. Is there anything here? There is the public library, but the public library is like a very. Oh wait, this is like the tunnels that go into the library. It's not actually the library, right? Black Plain. Yeah. So this is just the underground section. This is the actual library. And this is like very cement or very stone and stuff, which we might want to borrow for our interior as well, which is this. I'm just gonna get rid of the filter here. It is the deco mid wall and it's tall. So this is how they treated doing 2 floors or so. They have it go up and then they add in a piece above it, which is not a bad idea. We could theoretically do something like that. We could do like stone and then maybe wood paneling or something. We'll see. So it's not a bad idea, but it's not looking like this is exactly what we're looking for here. So let's keep going. We're looking for, let's see, college administration, construction, diner, no. Parking garage, labs. We'll be looking at these for our basement area for sure. Hold on a second. Sorry. Okay. So, let's see here. We're looking for shops. There are several. I don't know why I'm not seeing any. It must be quite far up this list. There's a laundry. Oh, this is the laundromat I was talking about where they have this angled area kind of as the entry point. Looks like they come in a little bit further, so we might want to do that. Yeah. So that's basically what I was looking at. Okay. So that's, yeah. This is basically what I'm trying to mimic. I think mine's too short. But it depends. This looks like it's one piece here. Actually, I'm curious, is this wall piece here? That's one piece. Is this one piece? No, it is 2 stuck together. So they just lined it up perfectly so that that blends a bit. That's what I was wondering. Okay. College Square is no. Combat Zone doesn't seem like we want that. Although, is Combat Zone like a mall or something? Let's see. Whoa. Oh, it's a movie theater. Cool. I forgot this existed. Definitely not what we want, but it's interesting. Um, theater seating is always fun. Concord Civic Access, we don't need that. Okay, there's the Concord Museum of Freedom. Does this have a gift shop area? And if I think this is a more wooden building. Yeah, okay. Does this have a gift shop area that we could look at? Or is it not set up that way? So it comes in here and it's just a big open space mostly. There's a vertibird. I don't remember what how they call it. Yeah, it's not looking exactly like what we're looking for, but these wall pieces are good to see. So wood small wall is basically what we're looking at. Okay, so it's just the regular building wood set. Concord Speakeasy. Speakeasy isn't really a shop, but no. Well, I mean, it's got the same kind of pieces that we're looking for some things. It could work. Not really, actually. I mean, it could kind of work for that industrial section. We could just say that they put in wood paneling on the inside, but I think we want to go a little bit different. So we're going to ignore this one. Assembly plant is definitely not going to have what we're looking for. Customs house, no. And Diamond City stuff, we can just pass over all that. These we can pass over. Okay, what is this? Mansion, department store. Oh, the department store is the one with the big escalators, right? That is not going to work. Yeah. Big escalators, not ideal for our purposes. Okay. Let's see. There's a mall and a bookstore. That's probably good. Here we go. Let's see what we got here. It looks like it's built in a concrete area. It's like a church. This is a old corner bookstore. Okay. Okay. Um, not bad. It's got like pieces that would be good because it's sort of like the shelving setup and stuff is pretty good. But but it's all brick, which is not ideal for that one house. I should double check to see. Okay, where are we? We're at financial 06. Let's just go back to the actual house. I want to make 100% sure it is wood, but I'm pretty sure it is. If it's brick, then we can maybe just use a section of this, which would be pretty good. Let's see. We're looking for 3, 2. Like we could just pull this section right there if it's got brick. But if it's got wood, then we're not going to be able to use that. This one. What are you? It is brick. Okay. Okay. So, that's actually a possibility. Let's check that out. Which it was. Oh, yeah, I'm going to sort this into the names again. Here we go. It was F for financial 06. Let's jump in here. And what I want to do is grab like a section of this. What's the best section to use? This entrance isn't bad. Actually, the entrance is pretty great. It's kind of nice that it comes in and then it goes up. And it gives it a really nice feel to it. How did they do that? I'm curious, actually. Is it two separate pieces and then they just built a wall? Goes up here? Or what is this wall piece, actually? Why is this not on here? Here we go. What is this piece? It's a trim panel. Okay, they actually have trim panels. That's cool. What is this thing? Why is there a green piece around this? Is that just so that you can see the collision on it? Probably. Okay, so if we grab just like, I mean, the windows are definitely not, actually these windows are fine. These windows are not ideal. But we could replace them. And we do want a second floor. Is this staircase present? It's like back here. And it's like a huge staircase, which would not work for our purposes. But if we just took this front section, then this might be pretty good. I think we might need to take maybe up to here, and then we'll just shuffle some of these cabinets and stuff around and change up a little bit of this space and then shrink it. Okay, so let's see which do they have any useful layers that we can turn off. So these are lights and markers of some kind. And that's the rest of it. Okay, cool. So let's do this. We'll take like this much. It's probably good enough. Interesting. These are just like upside down piles of rubble. That's how they did that, and it's cool. Okay, and just make sure we're not missing anything crucial. Let's copy this and let's go to our scene and go over here. I'm just gonna click on this and get as close to this as possible. Here we go. So that's actually pretty close to the size of this, isn't it? That's pretty good. I'm pretty good at figuring this out at this point. I'm just trying to move it, make sure. Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay, let's undo those moves. There we go. Perfect. So, this will be great. Let's drop this down to about the level that it is going to be at. It looks like that might be one step too high. That's about perfect. Yep. Cool. And I'm just gonna pull this out a little bit further so that it's clear of the temporary walls. And that's pretty great for our first piece that we need. So that's gonna be flipped around and sit directly up against our library. And then we're gonna put a staircase up into this upper section and change out some of these things based on the actual layout of the exterior model. Like we're gonna move some of the windows around and stuff like that. We're gonna remove the window from the side here because we're not gonna need windows on that side. They're all from the street front, which would be this side. Yeah, looks like that's what we're gonna do. I wonder why they have these pieces here. Like, I don't see a reason to have had an upper layer, because you can't, like, look out and up. But, I don't know. I'll check in-game when we get there. So, yeah, it's going to be about 1 block wider, and it's going to be pretty much exactly, yeah, it's 3 grid sizes, and that's 3 grid sizes, so it is this deep exactly. It's going to be, I think, a block wider, 1 or 2, Probably 1 because you're gonna have some space between the wall and the like the interior and exterior walls. Um, and then yeah, this is gonna get flipped 360. Actually, I'm just gonna do that now. This is going to be facing this direction, but like at an angle in there. So, and we're gonna shuffle a bunch of this stuff around, but this is pretty much exactly. Well, not exactly, because some of these shelves might work better. Well, we'll see. Basically, though, this is what we're gonna want for the gift shop. Um, Rejigged a bit. Now we still need a bathroom, so let's find some toilets. And that's gonna be more industrial. Excuse me. I want like a sizable bathroom, maybe even 2 bathrooms split in some way. What can we find here? Let's go toilet. And there were a couple in these, right? There's 4. This one's got a lot more. I want some that are functional. Are there some non-broken toilets? Toilet broken, toilet bathroom, toilet broken, player ruined, player toilet, vault toilet. So it looks like all of them are broken. Okay. So in that case, we can grab any of these bathroom setups. What's this one look like? This is like apartment building, so it's like metal exterior. We want like an industrial, not metal. Is there like a salvage shop? Doesn't have any toilets. Airport. Although the airport's really big, I don't want to load something like that. Well, let's see. Just gonna take a second. Okay. Where are some toilets? This is big. Okay. Let's see. This is the parking garage. This is like security. Or no, these are like gate walking areas. Okay. Here's like generators and stuff. Then here's a waiting area. So if there's gonna be a restroom. Oh, but this is now getting to be sheet metal stuff. Yeah. What is this? What is this called? No, I want to know what this object is. Wow, there's a lot of objects in the scene. Let's see if it jumps out at us. Come on. I could just double click it actually and find out. Sign restroom. Do that. In fact, restroom is probably all we need. Oh, interesting. Sign. Oh, are we not clicking on? I don't like that that sometimes changes that. So rest room. Okay. So this is not the kind of look we want, but now we have an idea of what object to look for. Here we go. Mayoral. Oh, this is a shelter. Oh wait, this is the mayoral shelter, which is concrete, so this might actually work. Where is cinder block? This is like a basketball court area. Here's a restroom. Okay. Yeah, and that's got the sign on it. So this is but it's got a shower, right? Because it's a live-in area. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Public library doesn't have them. Sign restroom. This is the college admin building. That's probably going to be too nice of a set. Diner's going to be the metally looking set. Plaza sounds fancy, but let's see. Maybe it's not as fancy as it sounds. It's pretty fancy. I just want like a typical like tiled restroom. Is what I'm looking for. A labs might have that. Let's check that. Here we go. Oh no, there are some nice labs. Well, maybe there's like a different wing that's more. Oh yeah, there's this wall. I want to figure out what this wall is called. It's also the building small wood. I wonder if there's like, how is it applying whether or not it's got, there's got to be like a way to apply carpet or wallpaper to certain assets. I'm curious. There must be a decal or something. Like, what is the wallpaper? Is there like wallpaper? No. Is it like built into the asset itself? Is there like some kind of check mark box I can turn on? I don't see anything. Because I know that there's like versions of this wood wall, or at least there's a version of a wood wall that's effectively exactly like this, except it doesn't have the wallpaper on it. So I'm curious how they apply the wallpaper to things. There's mist in here. Okay, whatever. Rest. We'll look into that later. Restroom. Where is the restrooms for this building? Okay, so there's more industrial looking stuff. Oh, there's like a tiled, but it's in the like metal looking walls. I don't want metal because the building looks like it's older than it would have sheet metal or something like that. Like it looks cinder block. So let's keep looking. Science gift shop. Oh, interesting. Anyways. College Square Station. Station might have what we're looking for actually. If it doesn't have the metallic stuff again. Like this subway tile look is a kind of what we're looking for. Let's see. Where would... Oh, here we go. This is pretty good. It's really destroyed. So that's the female washrooms, and here's the male washrooms. Okay, it's an option, but we'll keep going past it for now. College Square was the one. Concord Museum is that wooden one. An assembly plant. It's probably going to have metal, but let's just check. This is all, well, it's a mix of metal and like concrete and stuff. So might have a section that's more like an actual restroom. If I can find it. It's a very large area. Nothing in there. I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out at me as a restroom. They might just have the signs and not actually have built a restroom in the place. Like they could mark a closed and broken / locked door. Or here we go. Oh, it's a very small restroom. We need like several times that size. We could use it as a starting point, but it's also not really got what I'm looking for. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, here we go. High school. High school is not a bad idea, actually, because that should have a couple of stalls, and it should look pretty, like, restroom-like. Industrial-ish restroom-like. Just trying to find where they would shove it. I would expect it to be off to the side somewhere. Here we go. 2 individual stalls, but is it just like stalls within a larger bathroom, restroom, whatever? These are like teachers' restrooms. Like this teacher's lounge. So there must be a. Here we go. Oh, this is perfect. This is exactly what we're looking for. Okay. Yeah, this is exactly what I was thinking about. So, like a tiled floor, couple stalls, some other stuff. This is like a locker room. This is men's, and then there's got to be like a women's as well. Maybe on the other side, over here. So if that's the men's, that was here. No, this is the kitchen. That was here. So this is the men's locker room. So the women's locker room should be near it, but like not next to it. Oh, I see. So it'd be like, yeah, it's broken. That's fine. So let's just take this section then. This is perfect. Let's see. What can we hide here that would make this easier for us? We don't need a commentary layer. Camera stuff. I'm just gonna turn. Ooh, what is that? Oh yeah, okay. Oh no, we need that. I'm just turning stuff off. Oh, what is that? That we just turned off. Turned off a lot of stuff there. Come on. Okay. So we turned off as much as we could. It looks like we need this and we need that. Surprisingly little of the second floor is gone, which means we're gonna have to clean a bunch of stuff, but that's all right. It's a starting point. Let's see, what's the best way to grab this without grabbing too much other stuff? Probably from the top. There's nothing below here, right? Yeah, okay. So we need up to here. So we're gonna grab this to there. It's about right. It's a bit more than I want. But when we pull it over, we can delete some sections out of it. So let's copy that. There might be an easier one to use somewhere else, but this is a pretty good starting point. So let's put this over here. I'm gonna grab that. And it's pretty darn close to the size that I want. But we're gonna have to definitely kill some pieces here. Let's see. If I just pull all these out. Come on. Did I grab too much? Nope. These are fine. Lockers. Do we want well, we might want lockers somewhere else. but we can just get them. They're pretty standard stuff. What is this? I'm gonna turn this off. Gloss stain. Interesting. Is that this thing here? Maybe. No. Probably from the exterior then. I'm just gonna delete these miscellaneous things. What is this? Is this a book? It is a book. We will need these eventually, but we don't need it right now. Oh. Dirt piles, which again we'll need eventually, but we don't need it quite yet. Is this something? Here we go. There must be another thing here. Great. And then this hallway section. This industrial thing is kind of cool. Oh, and there's an elevator here. Is this a usable elevator or is it? Oh, it might be. This elevator's shorter. It's only got, how many stories is that? Is it 2 or 3 usable stories? It looks like 3. We might be able to actually just drop this elevator into our thing. So we'll keep that. I'm going to get rid of these things. I'm not going to use the concrete. Well, we could use it for the below section, but for now, I'm just going to try to get this section filled out. This we might use later for the basement. This we might actually, you know what? Let's leave that there. I might just grab this whole section to use for the basement. Patrol marker, I don't need that. But I think we might just use this whole piece. Let's see if we can grab just this stuff. And this light. And then, oh no. Let's see. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge because I want to grab like that piece too. Is this wall double-sided or is this a single side? If I delete this, is it going to delete the interior wall? Okay, no. It's a single side. So they just push 2 walls right up against each other, basically. There's a gap in there. Okay. Just curious how they are dealing with that. We will do something similar, but we will use a different exterior panel for that section. So I'm just going to delete. What is this piece? Is this piece different from this piece? Stack, mid stack, a bot. Interesting. It doesn't like specifically call out that it's a door. So is this also a, what is this piece? I don't know. Oh, okay. It is the interior wall of this. So does stack mean, or stop, like what is that indicating that there's an opening there? I don't really know. What about this one? That's just part of the elevator because we got rid of the other piece, it looks like. Well, what I'm gonna do is let's just delete these pieces. We don't need these. We will delete these pieces because we're not gonna use those. This whole upper floor. Actually, we'll probably just delete the whole upper floor. I don't need that. What I'm trying to grab is the elevator and the maintenance area because we are just going to try to use this whole thing. But if I just grab that, it's going to not grab the whole elevator, right? Yeah. How do I grab the rest of that without grabbing the toilets and stuff? Can I control select stuff like this? Okay. It's looking like that's working. Nice. Nice. Okay. So we want to grab this whole thing, and I'm just going to use this and put this over here. Although we might need an extra story on the elevator. I don't know how easy it is to add an extra story to the elevator. Because we're going to go... That's too low. First floor basement, and then second floor, third floor, and then maintenance area. So it's going to go about over here. And we'll deal with it later, but I just wanted to grab that out because we might want to use it. And I'm just going to now delete the whole upper floor here, or as much as I can. Come on. The whole upper floor. Why is it not grabbing everything? What about all these things? I want to grab that and make sure I'm not grabbing anything inside is the problem. Like, I don't want to grab that lamp. Or these pieces. But it looks like I did it. Okay. And this whole wing here. Oh, I grabbed some stalls there. It's definitely like based on the pivot points of these things, isn't it? Because like it looks like these are maybe further into the wall. I don't know. We might want to keep the medical thing, but put it on the inside of the bathroom instead of the outside. So I'm just gonna put it in there for now. Is this a picture frame or a mirror? It looks like a picture frame. I do not need the dead skeleton here. What is this skeleton? Bare body. Yeah. Well, oh. If you delete this form, okay, no. There's these cigarettes need the body apparently. Oh yeah, I see it's connected. Can I? It's so hard to get there. Okay, I want to select. Come on. I'm trying to not have another mesh in front of the camera, but clearly it's having trouble. There we go. That and this. Oh wait, that's shift. This and this. Okay. Yes. There we go. Okay. What is this? A stain somewhere, and this is a different stain. If I move this, oh yeah, it is this stain. Okay, cool. That was what I was wondering, which is I'm thinking they might do the wallpaper, but I'm not really sure. Anyways, this is pretty close to good now. There's a couple more things out here. Okay, perfect. Nice. Yeah, okay. We might want to turn this into two different washrooms, but it's going to at least be a restrooms or however you want to say it. But at least it'll be more or less what we're looking for. Oh, did I turn this off axis? Oh, I did. Don't do that. Keep it on grid. There we go. It's going to make it so much easier in the future. I just want to make sure. Okay, we have a fair bit of space we can play with. So we can definitely add in an extra restroom here and like split this in some way. But what I'm gonna do is place this off to here for now. And actually, let's put our layers in. So this is going to be I'm just gonna make this go down here again. Let's do a new layer. This is going to be restroom. And add section to layer. Great. And this is going to be gift shop. Just undo those. Oops. Nope. Oh, come new layer, gift shop, and add section to layer. Yes. Okay, restroom should be just the restroom. Good. And gift shop should be just the gift shop. Oh, I didn't get all the pieces. I don't even know if we're gonna need this piece. I'm just gonna delete it. Okay. And this whole section, minus this thing, is not currently on grid. I'm gonna put it back on grid. There we go. Now it's square to everything else. Actually, I'm gonna rotate it 180. So that's basically the orientation it's gonna be, which is a 45, but oh no, it looks like is it not square? Hold on. That's square to the house. Yeah, okay. So it's gonna be about there. I'm just gonna not put this on the layer yet. We'll deal with it when we get to it because this is gonna be a whole rigmarole probably. But we'll see. We may not use this elevator at all. I just liked this maintenance area it entered into, so I might just delete out this whole thing and just keep this and then shove a different elevator shaft in. But it's gonna go roughly there. All right, so that gives us the pieces that are going to go there and here, or at least some of it. This is going to be floor 2, which it currently is higher than. So where is this restroom? Okay, I'm going to get it to be the right height. Excellent. And there's going to be a floor above it. It looks like right now it's too tall. So we might have to switch out these walls for something else. But at the very least, we have a good layout. Like we can change out the walls, and it won't be a huge deal, I don't think. We have to move some of them anyways because we're going to have like an extra section that's gonna go like, well, we're gonna like this corner is not gonna be like a corner in like this, and I'm not sure yet exactly if we're gonna have a shared hand wash area, which I've seen in some bathrooms and washrooms, whatever, or if we're going to have separate sets for each side, but we're going to split them to male and female because that's how they would be. So that at least gives us starting points for that. So this is the last piece here. I want to get something. This is where like we could do. What our interiors look like here? I forget. Ooh, come on. Select something in this house. Here we go. Like this is the right kind of wall I was thinking, but maybe with some wallpaper on it. More like this. But then this house is not going to look that different. I might do wood here because this is brick. And this is a wood house, so we might switch these walls out for a wood set for this building. And then these building, and like this building too, maybe. So maybe we use this set for here. And we use a wood house for here. Except, well, let's see. On the upper floor, it's got like a wood paneling. But this is clearly like for a... Well, it's got like plaster. I mean, it could easily be a wood house too, but I feel like we need to make them feel a little bit different from one another. But that does make our life a little bit harder because we're now using many sets of stuff. But we'll see. Let's just at least look to see if there's anything that would be nice to fit in here. I think we're looking for some kind of house. Cabot house, probably not. Hold on a second. What have we got that is not in a layer right now? Okay, that's fine. Nothing crucial that is missing from anything. Okay. So, let's check. Let's save this. And let's find the next piece that we're going to use. Let's go Cabot House. This is really like modern. Well, not modern, but like unbroken looking. I really wonder if they used this in game or if this was like a test area of some kind. Because it's like, I mean, there's a guy here. Maybe this was used in a cutscene at some point. I don't know. It's very, very like not destroyed looking. Very clean. Wall stack. So stacked or section A. I don't know. I'm wondering if that means it's double height, because these are all like the elevator pieces are also like double height, or at least they're taller versus like this height, which is like your kind of standard height. What is this? Oh, come on, show me. Medium, small. Wait, wood something small. What is this? Wood stairs, half block. Oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting. Why did they put a piece there? Like, that's totally unnecessary to have there. Weird. It's also like the wrong set compared to like these pieces, which are building P wood small. See, like that's building wood PSM wall, and this is also building wood PSM wall 01 and 01. Right? Yeah. So how is it that some are clean and some aren't? I have to figure that out. Because like there's clearly something, there's some kind of setting that they're using to be able to switch from this texture to this texture. And I just don't yet know how they're doing that. Edit base. So if we look at this, so this is the base one. The base one's like rough and scary looking because that's like what they use. So then how are they adding the like cleanup version on it? Materials used 3. Also 3. Come on. Let me select the stupid wall again. Ugh. So frustrating. This one. CH elevator is the layer it's on. Encounter zone, respawn. Like, I'm not seeing anything specifically on here that indicates that it's like a clean version. And like, it looks dirty here. So what have they done that make it clean? Is it something? Is it missed? Because like it looks like there's something that's not grabbed this, but it's grabbed all the other pieces inside. So is there like a volume that's doing, is it this thing? What is this? This? That's a light box. Like, what is it? What is this thing? That's like trim or something, right? No, that's still the wall. Like, there's got to be something that's applying texture onto these things in some way that I'm not understanding. I got to figure out how they did that. Like, I want to grab one of these walls and pull it out, but if I do that, it's going to edit the scene. It's already like doing that by me touching stuff, which is annoying. But if I grab, like, if I can do Control Z, Trying to make sure I'm not like... I'm not messing up my scene, right? By doing Control Z a ton. Oh, I am. Yeah, like I don't know. Is it still on the right layer and everything? Like, yeah, that is. And this one is still on the right layer. Yep. This one needs to be turned back around so that it's on grid. Great. And we're just gonna delete that piece. Great. What I want to figure out is if I pull one of these pieces away from the building, if it changes its material. So that will confirm for me whether or not there's something being applied like inside here, like a decal of some kind. Where is the wall? I'm just trying to grab any of these wall pieces. Here, this one. There we go. Okay. If I pull this like out here, no, it stays clean looking. So how is it being done? Are there multiple building PSM wall 01s? Is this number going to give us different stuff? Let's find out. BLD wood PSM wall 01. There's just one of them. And if I pull out that singular one, it's going to be the roughed one, right? The rough looking one? Yeah. Okay. So I need to look into like how they are doing the differences between these things. Because it's going to make a big difference in terms of like how we're choosing assets and stuff. If we can figure out how they're doing the texture swaps. I'm going to go to our scene and just actually see if I can find out how they're doing that. So if I grab this and put it here, what can I do on this? Let's see. Layers, no. LOD, no. Edit is gonna bring up this window. Default, edit base. Edit base is gonna edit the base asset, so we don't want to do that. Like clearly they haven't changed this. If we look at it from the other ones, it has not changed. So there's something they're doing on here, in here, that is changing the material in some way. So what do we have in terms of options here? Let's see. We may not be able to figure this out today, but I want to give it a shot at the very least. Nav mesh stuff is no. Character, gameplay, none of that stuff. What is this? World height map, landscape editing, material editor. Huh. A tool we may not have access to? I wonder. I'll have to look into that. I have a feeling it's going to be something with this. So we may not actually be able to do it. So we might have to pull in the specific look that we like from the assets that they have and just use them that way, which is going to be a pain because you can't like search for them. You're going to have to actually just go around to different scenes and find them. But I'm trying to see if there's any way we can do it. Weather, dialogue, mesh, code, lights, trigger. spheres, occlusions, room, portal, detach, ruin, acoustic, lighting, collision, current cube. Yeah, nope. Just double check. There's nothing on the asset setting. Oh, come on. How do I open the properties? Is it hidden? Just gonna pull this over here. Let's see. None of this looks like anything I care about. Location reference type, nav mesh, we don't care about that yet. Attach 3D to reference node. That seems like it's not something we're looking for. Not scripts, and it doesn't look like we can edit the materials. Counter zones don't help us either. Yep, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to figure this out today, unfortunately. But that is interesting. I wanted to make sure that that was the case. So if we go back to that Cabot house and we pull their version over, one of the same walls, but with something. Oh, actually, are these the same walls too? Oh, that is. But I was curious, is this the same wall? Yes, it is. So if we grab this with a nice wallpaper on it and we copy that, we go to our scene and we paste it. Where'd it go? Is it not pasting it? There it is. Yeah, it does have it. So it looks like we might have to just grab the actual individual like set pieces that we're looking for, which is annoying. Okay, so whatever. We've got this. We're gonna look for this, and the Cabot house is not gonna work for us. Although it does have those. Well, let's just double check. That's double height stuff. These are all double height stuff. Yeah, they're all very, very tall. I don't need the tall ones. I want things that are regular, standard ceiling heights. Because this building, from the outside at the very least, doesn't look like there are floors that are giant. They look like standard height rooms, not double height rooms, which are like this size. But this is too nice. Too nice for that area anyway. We could potentially look at using this for one of the other houses. So anyways, we know Cabot House is like a weird house now and has a very unique set of pieces. So this is something we'll look at next time probably. Okay, church graveyard, no. Diner, no. Construction, no. The plaza, we don't need a plaza. We're looking for houses of different kinds. This is the one we grabbed, right? Yes. There's a manor. Manor has what kind of set to it? It is a very wrecked manor. Very, very wrecked. Nope. Danvers hideout. And nope. Abbott's house. Oh yeah, this is the diamond stuff. This is not going to be what we were looking for. Marlborough house. Ooh, that is very pretty. This is kind of the set that we were gonna use in the actual library area, so we're gonna pull these assets over probably. or like a version of this asset in at the very least. Excuse me. There's double height pieces and single height pieces, but probably no triple height pieces. So we're gonna have to do a mix. All right, that is the Marlboro house. Department stores, no. Apartments are no. Actually, are these tall apartment buildings or short apartments? These are possibly. No, they're too nice. Okay, so Hayward Mall, bank, investments, sports, fish packing, parking garage, good neighbor. This is like club kind of thing. What is this? Oh, it's a tunnel entry. Stone or brick interiors really wrecked up though. But we could, well, we could do brick on like 3 of the wall or 2 of the walls, but I kind of feel like it should be not fully like this feels like office building y or like really wrecked apartments. You wouldn't have like raw brick on all the walls. It's not. I just don't see that happening on the interior of a space unless it's like a warehouse. Like not for a house at least. What do we got in terms of this hotel? Is this good? Hotel is all this stuff again. Oh, no, the lower floor is all the really nice stuff. We want something between the two. Actually, this is not bad. Kind of like this. I really like this, actually. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm thinking. We grab... Oh, there's another elevator. That is a really tall elevator. That is... How many stories tall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories tall. We only have basement plus 3 stories plus an attic, so 4 and a bit. But if we grab this room, that room is about what we want for the area where the garage is. So I think this is exactly what we're going to take. What about this area here? No, that's too nice. This is perfect. Let's grab this. Try to not grab the elevator stuff. How do we do that? Don't need the Instamesh. LOD volume. We'll keep that for now. Museum bounce warm. It's lights somewhere. Oh, we're grabbing too much of that. Let's angle the camera a little bit away from that stuff and see if we can grab this. That's closer. Still got a couple of things here. These back walls here. Do not want to edit this thing. There's still a few things that we're getting that we don't want. Let's just see if we can. We don't need the gun. Brick stuff. That's probably not brick stuff. This is probably brick stuff. So we do want the brick stuff. Small floor plat. I think that's this. So there's 6 of them. Yeah, I think that's this. Okay, we're good with that. Um, deco wall. We don't want the deco wall. That's going to be one of these things. Deco. These are, yes, we want these. We want that. That's the door. Sure. I don't care about that. Sure, we'll keep the ceiling fan. I don't care about that. Planks, nails. I mean, we can get rid of those if we want to, but they're not crucial. What I'm trying to get rid of is the elevator. Desk fan, elevator. There we go. Don't need that. Loot, pre-war cooler, museum light, chairs, couches, office papers, stuff. I'm okay with all that stuff for now. We'll eventually want to put our own stuff in there, but I mean, I'll take it out later. Because we have too many things that we're like looking through right now. Trash can, trash can, trash can. Elevator. That's seeming like that might be the last piece. Okay, sweet. Go back into this window. Copy. Go. Wait, before we leave, it's Good Neighbor Hotel, Rexford. And where is this going? Over here. Just gonna get close to it. Excellent. And we did grab a little bit more than we needed. Let's just kill that now. Same with this. And this. Oop. And we don't need these things. I don't think that's for this floor. Probably for the elevator section, although it probably wasn't even necessary for that. Okay, this is pretty good for this area here, and then we're just gonna make this like larger and fill up the space a bit more. But we're gonna do something like that. Cool. This is gonna go right in about here, and I'm gonna add this to the residences. And I'm just gonna go into the residences layer and try to delete any of the stuff we didn't need here. What is this thing? Blamco, Nuka-Cola, cooler, Instamash. We'll populate our own items in these places. It's kind of weird to have Instamash and Blamco in like weird places like this, but it makes sense for balance reasons in game. So we'll have to come up with our own thing. But yeah, something like that. So this is going to be our starting point here. Wow, there is like a piece of trim we were missing. We will have to figure that out. Let's go back to that and just see what they had there. I'm wondering how they blocked up that hole. Turn these layers back on. And save this. And go to this one. I want to know which things they used for that little area. Okay. I must have just moved it. Because it looks like that's just fine. Weird. Uh, hmm. Okay. I must have moved it somehow. Um, no, there is a piece missing for sure. Okay, let's go back again. Where is Good Neighbor Hotel? Over here. No, wait, over here. Show me how this is put together. Is this? Oh, I see. It's a deco. It's a deco door frame thing. Because it's matching up with the deco on this side. Well, I mean, we're going to actually use that. So let's do that. We'll just copy this. And we'll go to our scene. And we'll go over to where our stuff is here. T and then paste. And we'll just drop that down. Actually, I'm going to put this back on grid. See if we can get it to match up perfectly. Close, but not quite. It looks like this whole building area, though, is not quite matching up on the grid. I want to grab all of this and then deselect these pieces. And I want to get this on the grid. Might have to do it without these pieces and then put them in later. It's like that's on grid now, but I don't know why it's not putting the rest of it on grid. So if we put these specifically down onto the grid, can we get the rest of this onto the grid? So now that those are out, without these, there must be some specific thing that doesn't line up to the grid perfectly. Oh no, that's looking good now. Okay. Except for this door, which is like not good. Well, that probably means that it's not actually good then. Because the door lines up with the bottom edge of that. No, that looks like it is dropping. Well, no, it's below. You can see because this carpet and stuff are also dropping into it. I wonder why. That's super annoying. And I wouldn't know what object it is that's screwing this up. We might just have to move them individually into place. Because if I like grab one of these walls and move it, it's going to snap into the right place, yeah. It could go object by object, but this is why I wanted like clean pieces for the most part. Yeah. Okay, well, let's undo the floor move. And we'll just keep it as one unit for now, and we'll know that we have to move the whole thing. But at the very least, we have the pieces we need for this area. Are there any other obvious pieces we can grab? It doesn't really look like it. So we might now need to just start populating these areas. We could start with this bottom floor because the bottom floor is going to be pretty easy to start with because it's actually on grid, whereas a lot of these other things are not. So it is annoying that these pieces though are different layers. Like what I would do is have like the geometry layer basically, and then like the item population layer, and then like interactables layer, and have separate layers for each of those things. What does this thing do? I do not know. How do you do a sub layer? Ah, okay, you can do that. So yeah, like I would do inside of these layers, I'd separate out like the walls and floor and ceiling onto its own layer. So let's like try to do this. Let's see if we can do this. Let's create a new layer and call this like residence what's the best like meshing or meshes? Yeah, and then we'll go this onto that. Does that work? No. It just got rid of it. New layer, residence meshes. Oh, that's a duplicate. So wait, hold on. Delete. So if I go into a different scene and come back, wow, that scene was not a good one to choose clearly. Come back, does it have, no. Delete layer. It's not, I'm trying to get it to like actually, it's not doing it. It's like broken now. I feel like I should probably just load back in, but I don't remember how long ago we saved. Let's just do it. Is that something? No. Data. Can we undo this? No. So if we get rid of ours and then pull it back in, will that work? That's what I want to know. You want to stay in the recent cells workspace? Now rename multiple forms. Okay. I might have to grab that section again, but we know where it is, so we can grab that pretty quickly. This is why I save pretty much every time I pretty much every time I transition after having done something, I save because of this exact kind of thing. Because there's sometimes you just don't know if there's going to be a bug in the tool, which that clearly looks like there was a bug there. This happens with all sorts of dev tech. Unfortunately, our professional tools aren't so professional. So they are very not well, yeah, there's always issues with them. Some are better than others. Okay, let's go to our area here. Hopefully the layers are, yeah, back into the way they should be. Got that, we've got that. I don't want this at an angle. Thanks. Actually, we did keep this. That's good. So we saved at a pretty decent point. Okay. I want to create a new layer called Residences Meshes. And what I want to do is set parent layer. Or actually, no, hold on. Oh, can we create a child layer separate? Okay, so if I delete this layer, of course it doesn't show up. Is there like an open? No. Let's go back. Layering apparently is not the best in terms of how it's set up. Like it's ideal to set up layers because of this exact kind of thing. Like you want to be able to separate out certain things so that you can hide stuff. They clearly, when they were building this stuff, did not use it as much as I would use it, but it also seems like to have depended on who is building what section, because some of them are much more in-depth layering schemes and some are not. And clearly, like, they weren't 100% on top of it. It wasn't like that important. It was more for like individual people and like how they liked working, rather than like a company policy of like, here's how we deal with layers. Because if like for the school, for example, it was like, okay, layer second floor, and it's like only a couple of things in the second floor were actually like in that layer. All right, so what I want to do is create a child layer and call it res meshes. Yeah, there we go. So let's hide all of these things. We're gonna pull this frame into, I'm gonna just shrink this back down. Getting close to needing more space than that, but that's all right. And add this into the residences layer. But in the sub layer is where I want to put all the other stuff that's not. So these things all go into this layer. Oh wait, hold on. Something else loaded in here. Where is this from? Oh, are these things that are on other layers that are still loaded? Oh, okay. That's annoying. Okay, let's see. Yeah, they're over there. So these should be in which layer? Not that one. This one. Oh. Uh-oh. My layers are gone. Ugh. Why? Why is this so broken? Please. Oh. Okay, let's do this again. When this gets into working condition, it will be great. It's just, boy, is it buggy. Like, I want to pull out the different pieces so that I have each of the layers separated so that I can do all the meshes, or so I can do all of the, like, the blocked in area, the geometry, and then all of the meshing on a separate layer, and then any interactables on a separate layer, and then we have it very clean. But we'll see. Okay, come on, let's go over to here. Rotate this back. Just gonna save this now. And then we're gonna go over to here. We're going to the residences. We're gonna create a new child layer residence mesh. On this, I want to grab, shrink this down again. Actually, we can go even further than that. Yeah, there we go. All right. I want to grab things like this and this and this and this. Anything that is populating the scene with things. These I want to put onto this one. There we go. So if we hide all of this stuff, and we just see these things. So I want to see anything that is not blue is basically what we're trying to grab. All of this stuff, right? Oh. There we go. Let's see where these things are. So, these are all in the same place. There's like a bunch of wax candles. Oh, I see. They put like a whole set of wax candles down. All of these things, all go into this. Small pillar. Where's this? That's a utility room thing. I don't know why. Like, I would want. When I click on this and I click on this, I'd want this to actually move. But it doesn't always do that. Like, where the heck is this telephone? Like, my tooltip should move to the object I've selected, but doesn't do that. I have to like focus on it, and then if I click on the tooltip again, I can see where it is. That's not great. Especially when you have like some objects like this stuff. Okay, this is clearly needing to be put into a layer of some kind. Let's create a new layer called library, and add selection to layer. Okay, and then we're gonna hide this layer. There we go. It is. That stuff is now not in my way. This. So all of these are already on there, right? I'm actually just gonna hide this layer is what I'm gonna do. It didn't update these. Now things are just not getting updated, period. Okay. Excuse me. No, there it is. Now it's updated. I just had to like refresh it. Okay. Sure. The decals are, yeah, I'll consider them meshing. Well, I might consider them something else, but we'll put them in meshes for now. I just want them off the geometry layer. Rug, oil lamp, filing cabinets, papers. Oops. These. I don't know what those are yet. So those might be the actual wall pieces. Stairs. I only have, oh, that's all this. Okay, no, yeah. Those are definitely not things we need to touch yet. Any other things jumping out? Exit sign, that's over there. Should probably have turned those things off. Well. Emergency lights. I'll deal with the lights in a minute because some of these are here. Lobby railing. Oh wait, no, the lobby railing is the one over here. The ones I added later or recently. Debris. Ceiling fan animated. The coop. Not the door. The door I will consider as part of the room geometry. Well, it's an interactable layer, but you know, whatever. These are all building pieces. These are all building pieces. Okay. These all go into add selection to layer. Okay. Wonderful. Look how much cleaner that is. So now I can go and turn this on, and then suddenly I have all my things here. If I'm trying to like populate it, make it look like there's stuff in there, then I can do that. If I'm trying to like figure out the geometry, then I can do this. This makes it way cleaner. So what I want to do now, I want to add all this stuff. Actually, I do want these. I'm gonna put these in here for now. If I look at this with lights on, how do I do that again? It's this one. Yeah, it needs to be baked probably. All right, so that's fine. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these and put these into library. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this into residences. It is part of the residences buildings. Yeah. But then specifically these lights here, I don't know what this was. Red Omni, and then this is red Omni. So this one is clearly for this. Is this all? These are all these all for that? I wonder if these were all Omni lights meant for being lighting the whole area from when this was a doorway from this sign here. So I'm just gonna grab all these and put these into the mesh section, because to me that's that. Or staircases and stuff are like geo. We are gonna get rid of these windows at some point, but that's fine. Okay, now we have just these lights. So there should be a bunch of lights that we can grab. This. All of these things are all stuff that I do not want on that other layer. Great. Excellent. So now we've got, oh, there's another thing here. Now we've just got the geo. Perfect. I wonder if this ceiling is not on the same. Oh, I see, because these are higher than the ceiling level or something weird. I wonder if this is a lower ceiling than a natural ceiling height. Anyways, I want to see the framing again. Here we go. And I now want to see if I select just these things. Actually, I'm just going to do that first. Select just this stuff. If I move this, is it going to change its grid position? That may have fixed the grid problem because we've got rid of the other stuff. So if I do the same with the door, now it's on the grid. Okay, great. We check this as well. This goes down. No, this thing is just on its own. On its own plane of existence. So we'll have to manually move this one, it looks like. Which is weird. I guess they didn't set up the pivot on this object properly or something. That door is also, oops, not on the grid. There we go. Nope, it is definitely not on the grid. Should be more like that. Clearly does not want to be on grid. What about this? Is this on grid? Yeah, it is. It's just, hold on. That was weird. It's just shifted, it looks like. So if we grab this again. Oh, now it's off grid. Interesting. Oh, did I grab too much? No, interesting. So it's this stupid doorway. The stupid doorway is screwing up the grid positioning. Wonderful. I'm just gonna take it away for a second. If I, oh, and there's another light. Ugh. You go on to the other layer. Okay, this is on grid. Yeah. I wonder if there's a way to set it so that when I'm moving these objects, is it based on a specific thing? Ugh. Clearly, this needs to be manually adjusted every single time. It is just not on grid. Doesn't look like it even lines up correctly with these things. It's gonna have to be like, how did they do this? It has to be like perfectly aligned. There must be a way to, I don't know. Like, there must be a way to snap this stuff better, right? Like, can I just snap this? No. Can I snap? No. It'd be so nice if you could do some proper snapping, but it doesn't seem to let me do that. So I wonder if I move this whole thing. Yeah. There's some weird stuff with the way this is all set up. So, okay, I need to figure out how to get this all to work on the grid correctly. So right now it's clearly not aligned. So those two pieces are now aligned. I could theoretically align these separately so that these are all aligned. But if I do that, if I move this, wow, what is with this stuff? It's like, if I select it all together, it's on the same grid as like this, which is great. But why is the grid constantly changing? So like, that's correct. So this is all on its grid. Okay, hold on. What is going on? Is the grid changing? So that's on the correct grid. So these other pieces are not. This is driving me crazy. So how do I get everything on grid? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So if we select all of this stuff, minus these pieces, I want this whole thing to go onto the grid. That looks like it is not. Very not. That looks close, but it actually does look off. So something is wrong with the way that these are set up in terms of the grid locations. There's still clearly something that is not set correctly. I'm gonna, oh, come on. Really? Wait, we're gonna select these. Come on, select it. There we go, in these order. So these are all good. If I move this one, that's good. I'm wondering if these roof pieces, if the roof pieces specifically are not in the right place, because it looks like they are set up differently. So let's, oh, come on, not the walls. I want the walls, I don't want the ceiling. Come on. Yes, great. Next. Is that all of them? Wonderful. Can I get you on grid now? Ha! I was right. The roof pieces are giving me trouble. Okay. And now can I get these pieces to go properly down? Chew! Okay. It's looking closer. Can I get these shifted? I want this back. This goes back. That should all be lined up now, right? Good. When we place all the meshes back in, it's going to be a huge pain in the butt. But at least these things are all lined up now, except for these roof pieces, which are clearly off grid. So I don't know if these were just manually aligned or what, but let's see how far off the grid they were. Oh, that's weird. Why is it grabbing something? What is it grabbing? Like, it looks like it's grabbing something that isn't just these roof pieces. Ceiling only. Okay. So let's, there. So now they're on grid. Is there gaps? Like, why were these not? They appear to be on grid now. I couldn't tell you why, but all right. We have now got grid going. So, hooray. We have solved a problem. Let's save this. Doing all of the mesh pieces is going to drive us nuts, but that's all right. I'm not going to worry about them because they're just pulled over. We can use them or not. We'll probably put them in a completely different position anyways, but just having them separated out is nice so that we can use them if we feel like it. All right. Now let's actually undo the framing thing. Let's put these back onto the framing layer. They were never there to begin with, really, but yeah. Whatever. So now let's try to make sure that this doesn't go off grid when we move this. Okay, good. It's staying on grid. Okay, I want this to go over here and start in the back corner. Although we were saying that we probably don't need this to be as wide as this. It's about one whole brick or one whole square too wide. So let's pull it in to actually exactly where it was. And we'll just pull it over here till it's touching that as well. And now that's pretty perfect. And I think we're gonna pull all this in because we don't need that much space. It's kind of like you don't want more space than you need because like you saw how densely populated these things get, and like to get it to look nice you're going to need to do a lot of that kind of stuff, and we don't really want to have to do a whole bunch of extra work. So we're going to just do this. We're going to pull this all in. I'm going to chop these out. And I'm going to do the same over here. Come on. Just those three. Yep. This is not going to line up well. Shove that there. I think this will help a little bit with just like some of the perspective problems we were having as well. Like this looks much closer to how it actually is in game. Yeah, and this is going to be a whole brick forward, but we'll fix that in a second. This is going to look better at this size, I think, anyway. All right. There's going to be a door here. So we're going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kill these panels. But I'm going to put a door from over here. Actually, this one, because it's on the same layer. Oops, I'm just going to duplicate rather than copying, because they will stay at the right height and stuff. I'm just going to move this to here, so that we know there's a door there. And we'll figure out the right mesh for that at some point, but for now we'll just leave it. Okay. This is gonna move. It is actually gonna go there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this, this, and this. Oh wait, hold on. This. We're gonna move this whole section over here. Perfect. That's great. Yep. All right. So now we're gonna take. Are all these walls the same, or are there slight variations to each of these? There's 3, 4, 5. So any ones that are super like unique looking, we're not gonna want close to each other. 8, 4, 6, 5. Where's 1? So we're missing 2? Or is this 2? No, there's no 2. Okay. Let's just grab another one of these. Actually, we'll grab one from the opposite wall because you're not as likely to see it at the same time. Flip that around. Put it. Oh, thought I flipped it around, but I guess I flipped it too far around. Where is it facing? Can't see it. It's in the wall there. Okay. Nice. Plug in that hole. Yeah. So this is going up to that wall. This is gonna be about there. So we're actually probably gonna want to go a little bit farther than this. Before we go this way to allow for that garage. So this is where knowing that there's a garage here really makes a big difference. So we're going to take these and we're going to shove these back against this wall for now. We're probably going to actually create a doorway through here. So we can maybe use this one over here. And then we'll grab this one and put it between the two. Over to here. That's not looking lined up. Is it gonna line up? Okay, it will. Good. And we'll put another doorway. This is where, like, hopefully there are other, like, red pieces because I just don't know. And if we don't find other red pieces, then it's gonna be a problem. But at the very least, we can block these in. We'll know which wall pieces to replace them with if we have to. It's building wall piece small wall 05, I think is what the thing, or building WLP. I don't know what that means. If I look at actually here, let's see, building WLP, SM. What is the default of this one? SM wall. What is the default look? Yeah, the default look is this like blue grungy one. And there's 12 different pieces too. So like we theoretically have a lot of other pieces, but we just don't know if they have this coloration. But I like this coloration for this room, but we may not be able to use it. But we'll see. All right, so these are all different as well. There's pieces with broken. There's pieces that are not as broken. Broken in different places. So these and this are the same, right? Yeah, and then this and this are the same. I'm curious about. Oh yeah, the default one of this is that also blue tile, not this cool red checkered. That's annoying. Okay, well, whatever. I think there are other ones like this though. I'm pretty sure I've seen them. I think our best bet is to look at the diner sets and see if they have any others like this. But yeah. So we're gonna go pull that over. I'm gonna pull these same two for now because they're in the right orientation. We'll play with like which one should be right next to which other one afterwards. We might have to vary them up a bit more. I mean, we don't really want like a repeating. These two are always on this wall. But yeah, let's get rid of the framing for a second here. I just want to grab these. And we can turn this back on. Pull this over to here. And in just a touch. That's going to go there. Yep, something like that. Okay, and then we don't need these anymore. These look highlighted. What, they were highlighted, but they were. I think that was just a bug. Okay. We don't need these anymore. And basically, I'm just replacing the old framing stuff as we go. I mean, I guess I don't need to because it's on its own layer. Might be better just to leave it for now. Yeah, I'll just leave it for now. we might go back through at the very end and just delete the whole framing layer, but this was useful as a building block. But what I will do is actually I might move these in further here just so that we know that's where we went with it. Okay, and now we're gonna end up like meshing a lot of this up. But let's for now we'll just use what we got here. It looks like we're gonna need one piece here, so let's take this one, duplicate it, and move it over. And this piece is gonna be, I don't know, we might have to move. We're gonna have to do something to blend these two, but we'll get to it when we get to it. I'm gonna grab this one, pull this over here, rotate it. It's annoying that their pivots are super offset. But I guess it made sense to somebody somewhere for some reason. But it is frustrating. All right, so that's all good. We might need to pull this whole staircase in a little bit. To match it up. Or we might need to blend the meshes with a different mesh here for the doorway. I don't know yet. Like, I don't know if we can use these walls or not in the long run anyway. It was just a good, like, prefab staircase unit that filled in that space pretty perfectly, so we might just get rid of those walls. But for now, they're fine. This is just giving us an idea of where these things are going to go. I should have just taken this whole thing over instead of just that one piece. Let's do that. I thought I did. Did I not? It doesn't look like there are multiple of these, right? No. Okay. Sure, whatever. I thought I did grab multiple pieces here. Oh, maybe I grabbed it for moving it this way. Yeah, okay. Duplicate. Pull this over. Spin it around. There we go. Great. Might as well pull the flooring over as well. I'm just going to take the whole set. And I'm just going to duplicate the whole set. Move it over. Cool. And I'm going to just do that again. And maybe to make it tile less, we'll just flip that around. And that's going to give us a good-ish, good enough pattern that shouldn't repeat exactly. Although these are mirrored right now, so we might want to just move a few tiles around, but we'll deal with it when we get there. These are bleeding together right now, right? Yeah. So we're definitely going to need... So what I could do, actually, let's do this. We'll delete this and move this one over here. And then move this one over here. And I'm just trying to make it a little bit more varied with the pieces we got. That's probably good. I don't want to continue the same flooring into here. Well, I'm not sure yet, but we don't know. Let's just delete those out. Now we got the floor. Let's get the ceiling. And it probably doesn't matter as much that the ceiling tiles are repeating. People aren't really going to be paying attention to the ceiling that much. Gamers don't look up, as the saying goes. I mean, they do, but like, it's a generalization, but you get the idea. Generally speaking, gamers don't have a reason to look up in games like this, so they won't. So it's really there just to give you the atmosphere and make sure that there's continuity of the environment, but it doesn't necessarily, like, it's not likely that they're gonna notice that there's a repeating pattern. As long as you do things like rotating these pieces around so that they're not exactly identical. Where did that go? Why did that do something weird? Can't see. Come on. Rotate around it properly. Yeah, that was what I thought. Okay. Match that up. And we're good. Okay. So we've got our little hallway here. Hooray. That's our first floor done for that section. Obviously it doesn't match up on this side yet, but that's fine. We're gonna completely change this whole wall out for a different thing. But that's cool. Now what we want to do is, let's turn off framing. And these are all not going to be in this layer. So we're now going to pull it all into that layer. Oops. Actually, is this, yeah. And I could just go like this, actually. Grab all this stuff. And put this onto the residences regular layer, which is our geometry layer. So now all of this is one piece. Hooray. Awesome. What time is it? 7. All right. How much time have I spent streaming? I do not know. Where is the timestampy thing? It's not telling me. 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's probably good enough for today. So, let's fix the last couple things that need to be fixed. Now that we've shortened this wall. So we're gonna move this whole section down here. It's gonna come into here somewhere, thereabouts, with a little bit of an angle, but that gives us a lot less space that we have to worry about in here. And I think I'm gonna do the same with this wall, but it depends. Like this elevator is huge. But it's probably okay. I think I will pull this whole wall in one piece and then pull this in. Like, this is gonna have to be pulled in. It's about, I mean, it is one length, but I think it's gonna be pulled in like to here at the very least for where that door comes in. But I think that the whole thing should get shoved up. So let's look into doing that. I'm gonna save just in case I screw something up. Let's turn off this for a second. We're gonna grab just this layer. I'm gonna shove this all up about 1 to start with. And then we're gonna turn all of this stuff off so that we're not gonna mess anything up. Oh, that's nice. You can take out that so that only it shows that. We're gonna grab from here to there, and we're gonna unclick. I can't. You can't. There must be a deselect, so like long select, but I can't figure it out right now. I will look that up because it's going to be frustrating in the long run. So we're gonna take this whole thing and we're gonna, can I move my handle over by selecting this? Oh, come on. Really? I had just deselected it. I didn't want to have it double clicked. So frustrating. Okay. Unselect. And now I want to unselect. Oh no, see, that didn't even grab the whole wall. Okay, we're just gonna grab all of this and then unselect these pieces. Then is that selected? I cannot tell. I don't know how that wouldn't have been selected considering everything on either side of it was, but sure. So I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do that to get this over here. And then I'm gonna pull this forward. And then I'm gonna go into here. I'm gonna delete this piece, and this piece. And now I'm gonna turn everything else back on. Yeah, that looks more correct in terms of sizing, I think. And it's not gonna take away too much space for the stuff I wanted to populate in there. So I think that's right. It just feels better, and it's not gonna be as messed up in terms of the exterior to interior feeling of the shift. We do need to take out this piece completely because this house is not that wide, and I don't want to forget doing that, so I think I'm going to do this right now before we stop. But just want to make sure. Oh, and the one other thing I want to do before I stop is check if there's any other lifts or elevators. Elevator. So that's just a wall piece. So these are all just gonna be the little wall piece things, yeah. So stack entry points. So there's an elevator door. Can I get close to something that's gonna give us sense of scale here? All right. So what is this? Okay, nope. Elevator car. Okay, that's the very vault looking one. Base panel, utility. I don't know what that means. Base panel. I guess it's like the thing that the elevator can drop onto, maybe? I don't know. High-tech static. Oh, these are doors. We don't need the doors. Door, 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 door. Hit elevator car. Is that like a different kind? I don't know. There's a different hit elevator car. Oh, this is double-sided, and that is more freight-like. Oh, okay. So actually, let's do these doors then. High-tech doors is not what we want. Out. Public static. Just, oh, out of order. Okay. So is there a bunch of out of order? Yeah, okay. Oh, that's weird. They have like piles of out of order ones. So these are all out of order. With elevator out of order. Okay, interesting. So are so are all the doors then just out of order doors? So then there's only these things that are. Oh, that's really cool. There's only these things that are other door. Well, we'll see. Floor edge. Floor edge. Okay, no. Hole. Okay, that's for like the what's it called? I guess is HIT the okay, HIT must be the MIT stand-in. So that's the whatever Institute of Technology. So these are special elevators that we are not going to want. What's this? Oh, there's another one that's similarly not what we want. Elevator for Liberty Prime. Old elevator car. That's cool. That's different one. Trim? That's just trim. Old metal elevator out frame. No. So there's just the. Nope. They may not have like an old style utility elevator. What is this thing? Interesting. I do not know. This one had. These are all like prefabby things that have probably got functionality attached to them in some way. Utility elevator car. Okay. Elevator bot, left stick, right. Door, metal door. Okay, so that's the regular metal door. Static. Vault door. These are vault ones. Oh wait, cage top. Yeah, these are vault stuff. Okay. Right. Oh man, that's not. If they have a cleaned up version of this, maybe. No, that's like a modern. Vaulty one. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to have the type of elevator that I'm thinking of, so we're going to have to enclose it, which we can do. Unless there's like a lift. Is there like a forklift? Catwalk lift? No. Power cart lift? No. Power cart. Quarry elevator? No. Too bad. So it doesn't look like we're going to be able to find the lift that I want, which is like, an old timey lift that has like the grate that you close, which you'd expect they would have in this time period, because if it was like 1950s, there would have been several places that would still have that kind of lift, but oh well. Or even like a freight elevator lift with the same kind of thing where you pull them downward, but something like that would have made a lot more sense in a library than like a proper elevator, but that's fine. We'll just have to know that we have to enclose this in some kind of cladding, like one of these things, but in more in our style. Okay, and then what I also want to do is kill this stuff, so let's do that now. What is this part of? Oh yeah, librarian house. Okay. So what I want to do is shift some of these things now so that we know that they're not going to be there later. So this whole staircase, if we're going to put a staircase in, we're going to have it on that side. The door too. So let's move this all. Let's pull this out. Rotate this. Put this in. Move this over. And then grab this. Perfect. Huh, that's weird. It looks funny. But I guess it's fine. So that's probably why these have that pivot point, so that you can just rotate them and they snap into the 4 quadrants of the room pieces. Interesting. We probably don't need that there, but that's fine. I'm gonna move this door. Interesting. How is this put together? If I pull this out, oh, is this the same as this piece? But it's just got like a crack area around it. That's cool. Because this is all one. Yeah. Okay. Pull this way. turn this way. Shove this against this wall. We may or may not use this piece on this floor, but I'll just move it in here for now. And then we're gonna grab this piece and move it in here. Is this a pillar? Hold on. This must be a pillar. That's blending the two things here, yeah. Okay, cool. So that's what we could maybe use, something like this to blend the two doors on the other area. Anyways, pull this there. Oh, I see. It has a weird bleed. I wonder what that looks like in game, by that seam. But anyways, broken chunk of floor. Yeah, we don't need this in here anyway. This whole section is getting pulled out. We'll pull this wall in. We will also get rid of this one for a different piece, but we'll deal with that later. Okay, we're gonna have a staircase in here somewhere, but it ain't gonna be where it currently sits. It's gonna be somewhere else. Oh, we need this piece too. We'll figure it out. But what I do want to make sure is that we pull out this section of the house so that we know these are things we're doing. I'm going to change these floors out as well and put this kitchen section onto the second floor. Perfect. I don't know if we want to use this or not. Let's pull this over, because these match. And I'll pull this one over here. Can't see if it's lined up. No, it's off the wall. That looks like it's now lined up. Okay. Something like that. So we'll pull those up. We're gonna pull these sections. Is this the brick floor? I don't want the brick floor. I want the deco one. Or the small fur one. That's not, is that small fur? Yeah, it is, okay. Pull that down. I'm just gonna get the pieces I need here. Oh, small floor, not small fur. I was thinking it was like fur flooring or something like that, but it's not. They're also oddly offset. Oh, to make this room work. Interesting. Okay. This one comes straight down. Perfect. Obviously, this is not going to work. We'll delete that for now. We may not use this type of staircase at all. Figuring out exactly what this is going to look like is going to be an interesting challenge because we're gonna have to figure out what stairs we can use. But that's at least solved. We'll delete these pieces out. Okay. Because this is going to be a much smaller house. My lips are dry. It's bothering me. Attic space. It's not going to be an attic space, but it might still be nice to have a door at the top of the stairs. But the stairs are definitely not going there. And this whole section is going to be a different palette for sure. Because that's going to be the bedroom. Like, this is like a child's room flooring. Maybe we pull this up onto the bedroom for now. We'll put this on the bottom floor. I don't know what looks better. Like, these match pretty well, but these also could go well together. Hard to tell what the color scheme of that is. It's got like a bit of green in it. Maybe a bit of, I don't know. Brown is fine. I think we'll take the blue up to the bedroom. But leave that alone, actually. It's probably fine for now. This floor, though. I'm just gonna... We're gonna figure out what to do with that staircase later. Because we gotta figure out how this floor is gonna be oriented. But we did pull that out, so we can pull these as well. This piece is gone. This piece is gone. These pieces... This already has a wall. I don't know why. Oh, there was a back because of that. Yep. Just delete those. Cool. Great. And what else do we got here? Okay, so I'm just gonna take these two things and twist these this way for now and shove this wall here. And we'll take this wall and shove it there as well. Actually, I don't probably need to move that way, but that's all right. But this there. Those don't blend well together. That's okay. I'll fix that later because this whole set's not going to be used anyway, as I've already said. This gets deleted. This gets deleted. And now we will be fine with these being hanging out for now. We'll just delete them later and move them inside. This whole thing has to be changed. Clearly, these are not blending that well together because this is going to... Oh, hold on. What is that piece then? What is this piece? Oh, it's a pillar. Oh, because there was a corner. I see, they were blending some stuff. I was like, why is there a weird corner there? Yeah, whatever. Good enough. It'll complete, like that whole floor is going to completely change anyway. We're going to reorient this. We're going to figure out how to make this kitchen dining and still fit a staircase in here. It's going to be tight, but we'll figure it out. And this is going to be the living space with a door through here into the rest of the area. And it's going to probably look something like this. So let's take this guy. This guy and this wall here. And we'll duplicate. No. Hold on. They're on a hidden layer. Shouldn't be on a hidden layer. Oh, I see, because it's getting put onto the default layer. So it needs to be showing up. And we'll put this here. Delete this wall. They do not align. They do now. Okay. Cool. That should be good. That's going to go into the rest of the building. And then I'm just going to make sure all this stuff is in this layer and not on the default layer. And now whatever this wall becomes is going to marry up to that. Yeah, that's fine. This staircase is going to be inside. It is not going to be here. Just going to put it inside for now. Don't know about, yeah, whatever. Because we already have that rail somewhere else, right? We have like a bunch of rails. Actually, do we? No, that's a short rail. Just what's this thing? Cancel. Oh, it's a piece of ceiling. Okay. We do not need that for sure. Great. Now that's giving us a much better idea of how this is going to set up into here. Perfect. Yeah. Cool. Right. Let's see what we've accomplished today. So we've got almost everything kind of blocked in. I'm gonna pull this guy over closer to its section. That. Right. So this is the second floor. We still need a third floor, and we're gonna have to change out these walls and pull everything down because right now it's like a double height thing, and I really do want to have like an antique book room above the restrooms and not have it be a weird double height restroom thing. Because it's not like a gymnasium. We have this start of these apartments. This is like the entryway into the apartments block. So this can be like the apartments lobby. We might be able to make like a mail room kind of scenario here. That might be where we're gonna go with it. I haven't yet fully decided. But I think that could be cool. Then we have the garage now cut out because we didn't do that before. We figured out where the door is roughly going to go, which is going to be about there. It's actually going to be exactly there. It's just that these wall pieces make it look like ugly. But we will change these out at some point anyway. We will have to move the staircase over to deal with it. Actually, we should do that now because we can. Making sure that the staircase is still going to work for us is good. I don't know why that's showing up highlighted. Anyways, that's still too close. We need to make sure there's enough of a landing at the top, but it doesn't need to be super, super huge. Something like that. Okay, that's probably good. Yeah. That's gonna still be enough space, I think. Interesting that these are going to end up really close to the same place. This still feels like it's too close to here. This is going to have to be like up here. gonna be somewhere like here. I'm gonna just put this in framing. Like that. And it might be just for the lower floor and then have this go back inward. It could do that. I haven't decided yet. It's going to be funky for how to do a floor there. If we do it, then it's going to be like probably just like planters and stuff, like a little balcony where there's like plants and stuff like that, just like a decoration kind of area. But we'll see. The building itself does have like it pops out there. There's just like the doorway that's pulled in. So we might do that, but we'll see. Okay, so save that. So we shrank this all to fit better. We got an elevator in place. It's may or may not be the kind of elevator we're going to use in that spot. And it does need to have an extra story added onto it. So either way, it's not going to perfectly work as is. We might try to find another elevator that better matches the functionality we're looking for. But we'll see. This guy is just pulled in, same with this one, but they're close enough to matching to start with, and then we're gonna pull them in and get everything sorted out with them once we play with them a little bit before we have to rotate them into place, because we don't really want to have to work on 45s. This area is interesting. So I think that this whole house might need to come in further, and then this has to get closed in. Let's double check. Well, yeah, I might as well do it now. Well, no, it's fine. This might be pulled in one whole block so that it matches up with this wall, and then we kill off these. I just don't know. I want to make sure based on the actual model that's correct, because right now I'm not. Yeah, it does look like that. So this is going to come in here. So let's just do that. Let's just delete these out. And we'll pull this whole thing over to this. That looks better. And that's going to be like that. Okay. Yeah, that's probably more correct. We won't really know until we start getting these things combined, if we do combine them, because there's still the possibility that we want to pull this onto its own scene or its own cell. Yeah, okay, so we built this cool little entryway. We got it all meshed in there. We figured out the garage space. We pulled some of these closer because we didn't need as much space as we gave it. It's a little bit too big. These spaces I think are still going to be the right size for what they are. Well, actually, is it? Let's just double check that's about the right size in here. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's about right for that house space. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so that's going to be in here. This is going to be in there. We still need to get the upper floor for this. These include both floors, so we got that. We have to obviously change some of this stuff around. We have to do this whole section, which I think we're going to do first, like this area, which is all like relatively square up until about here. And then this section is going to be its own section that we're going to add in when we put this wall in place. How we marry these together is going to be interesting. I might have this area all be a step down so that we can have the floor pieces go under the other floors. And that way we don't have to worry about the meshes colliding into each other. And because it's going to be like the workers' entry, and it's going to be a little bit more rough looking, and it's going to be also the maintenance entrance to the like storage area, it will feel okay to have that step down. So I think that's what we're going to do, is just have it so that it's a step down into this space. That way we can have the floor pieces go underneath the two sides. And I think I'm gonna make. Am I? I was thinking maybe I make the cellar, the basement layer, its own loading area. That might make the most sense, in which case we can't use the elevator all the way down though. Or can we? I have to look into how the elevator functionality works. I'm wondering if you can have some floors be load screens and other floors be not. I don't think you can. In which case we'd have to build like a small area at the base of the elevator that's like the entryway into the basement area as a option to load in. And then yeah, that would just solve that problem. So that wouldn't be a big issue. We would just build like basically the amount of space that's here right now. And just put like a wall here and like a door, and then that door loads in the basement. And the same thing would be for the staircase that goes down. You'd have at the bottom a door that would then load in the basement. Because I'm just worried about like the different ceiling heights and stuff clashing into the basement. Although we could just make the basement low enough that that's not an issue as well. We'll see. I think it's going to be mattering more in terms of like whether we separate certain sections out in terms of just how long it takes to load these sections and how like painful it is. Because we're going to have this whole central section, including this area and this area, definitely in one area. So that might be enough to be like, okay, that's it. But it's also not, I don't think it's bigger than like some of the other museums or like the department store. And they load all that in at once. I do wonder why they chose to like load some things in completely and some things not. And I'm wondering if that's like why that is done that way, basically. Like there are some smaller sections that have been split up into more different loading areas that don't feel necessary to have done that unless there was like some kind of specific reason that like for like maybe they have two different instances of something, but I don't think so. Anyways, we did a good amount for today. So at the beginning of the day, we had only taken basically this and had a duplicate of it over here, and we had done the layout of the basic walls, and we had chosen a staircase. Today, we grabbed in the pieces for these areas and this area. We figured out we needed the garage. We pulled this in, pulled the walls in, made it more to the right scale. Put the elevator in here, which we luckily could grab from the same set there, although we may not use it in the end, but at least we have an idea of how big it's going to be, and it's in roughly the location it will end up. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good start. Next time, we'll probably keep going on some of these areas, making this the right size, getting it to be the two types of bathrooms, putting it then in its final resting location, doing this one as well. I think we're going to leave, I mean, these in some ways are harder. In some ways are easier though. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna kind of avoid doing this section for a little while because it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. We're gonna put a wall here, at least on the bottom floor. It may be open. I think we should just do one across the whole time, probably, actually. There's gonna be a door in this way so that you can get into here. Excuse me. But that will make this almost a rectangular space, which will be nice. And then we have this weird space that's going to just sit below everything else slightly so that we can do effectively exactly what they were doing with these pieces here, where they had like different sets set up so that they could have like a smaller kids room, and then they'd have a different space here, and they had them just shifted. And because there was no other buildings next door or anything else, it was okay to shift them that way because it wasn't going to collide with anything. But which is an advantageous reason to have this loaded in separately from the library area, because you could do things like that. But I think we'll be okay. We just have to plan it out carefully as we go, and we're doing a pretty good job so far. We still have to figure out how to marry these two things together, but if we use things like those corner pillars that they have in here, and we just put some of those like here to pull this over a little bit, and then put like corners in to help merge the two areas together, I think that should be fine. This is definitely one of the last spaces I do. It's very awkwardly shaped. It's going to be a problem, but we'll see how we deal with that another time. But the rest of this, I think, is going pretty well. So yeah, we'll just keep on going and see how that goes. Thanks everybody for watching this, and if you liked it, follow along and you'll see me continuing on this process. It's going to be probably a couple more streams before we get like the mesh all fully in place, so that we can then create some nav mesh and test it. But that's basically the process. Is what I'm going through is like, I'm just trying to get all of the geometry in place first. If I pull in some meshes with the geometry, that's fine. So like in the case of the washroom, or in the case of like some of these areas, they have a few assets and I'm okay with that. But I'm not gonna focus on doing the meshing, the static meshes yet. First things first is to get all of the spaces kind of in place. And then once they're in place, and we've looked and make sure that all the seams are okay and all that kind of stuff from a like editor perspective, then we can create some nav mesh, figure out the playable area, and try it out and see if the scale does fit, if things are in the right places, and if we are getting the seaming, like if it's feeling too large, and whether or not we have to chop out certain areas to load, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the process that I'm going through. Is first we're going to start, we're starting with we gray blocked it out effectively. It's just taking out, here's the layout. Now we're going in and we're doing the geometry, and then the next step is going to be testing that, and then we'll start adding the static meshes, and then we're just going to start adding the people and other things that are going to populate this to make it feel alive. And all the quest stuff will come in afterwards, but we're going to do the design of this area first. I just want the meshes to be done so that we know what each space is for. We can feel it out, make sure that they're all the right sizes, and that's, yeah. And I think it's coming. I think I have a much better idea of some of these spaces. And part of that just comes like once you have meshes and you're starting to build it out. I just feel like when you're in a situation like this where you're not building from scratch, you have like a set list to work with, you kind of have to build it this way to really kind of get into a mindset of like, how is this going to feel like with this building, for example. I knew it was going to have some more of an industrial feel than like the house looking pieces, but then realizing like, oh, it could just be like an apartment building entrance, and now it's like, and these are the apartments, so now we can make this a mail room and have it be like your entryway. It sucks that there's only one garage spot for this apartment building, but who cares? Maybe it's the building manager's car port or whatever, but whatever. Yeah, I think that just helps it, and now like it makes sense that there's a staircase that connects all the floors. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna also still do something. We still have to figure out like how these are going to split out, which directions are going to go in here, which directions are going to go this way. I might shift. I might shift this whole section to be on off floors from these two sections so that we can do some more floor blending if we give some gaps into certain areas. Like, we'll see. But like if we pull this in a bit on this floor so that we allow for some bleed for these floor pieces, which are going to come in probably in here a little bit, then we might be okay. This is going to be a huge nightmare, but we'll see. This is going to be the hardest part probably, because this at least is 45s, and it, other than this one piece here, which I might just make a straight 45 and that make it way easier on myself, so that we just have like one seam in the flooring, and we just have like we just blend the two edges so that they meet perfectly. But we'll see. This will be a little bit of a challenge, but it won't be as nightmarish as this mess. Anyways, thanks for following along. If you want to check out more, check out the first two videos of the stream. They are up. The process that I've been going through and kind of planning this out. I might do a bit more paper planning once we get some of these things in here. But I think we've got a good idea of where we're going right now. So, yeah, thanks, and see you another time. Bye-bye.